Today we're taking a look at 8-3. This is one of my favorite exercises because it's putting together two completely different techniques. And the cool thing about that is it really forces you to make sure you're using the right muscle group because there's no way that you could have any type of gray area in between these two concepts, because if you do, you're not going to be successful at playing it. So let's get into it. First bar, we just have legato strokes on our right hand, eighth notes all the way up. Okay, make sure we are leading with the bead of the stick. Okay, we don't want to break with the wrist. We want the bead to be moving first, about yay far. And then from there, bend from the elbow to get us all the way up to a vertical stroke, forte. Cool? All right, let's give that a shot. 1, 2, and here we go. 1, 2, one more time. Cool, so far so good, pretty easy. Here comes the fun part. So if you look at the next bar, it's all eighth note triplets and it's gonna be on our left hand. Technique for this is going to be having our hand open and turning our wrist with the space in between our palm and our fingers to make sure that we're using all the rebound we possibly can and we are not squeezing the stick, because we wanna make sure we're getting that nice open sound quality. Cool, so first thing you should probably do, I only want to go to count 2 the second bar, just to make sure we're in time. Here we go. 1, 2, and here we go. Here we go. One more time. Cool, so that's a really good checkpoint. Count 2 is always a great checkpoint when you're trying to work any transition in any piece of music. But let's go ahead and do the entire bar. Cool, so we're gonna do bar 1, all eighth notes forte, bar 2, eighth note triplets in our left hand. Cool, 1, 2, and here we go. 2, and one more time. Cool, so just again, this goes without saying, we wanna make sure that we are fighting for great sound quality. What do I mean? Every note should sound the same, right? Beginning and then near the end of my triplets there, I had like a couple sketchy notes. That was a little bit better. Cool, so just make sure that you're not making your strokes sound inconsistent or not dynamic. Cool, next concept, we're actually only going to take one more note. This is probably the most important part of the exercise. This is the first time we're going to be turning off a muscle group and turning on another one. Okay, so we're coming from the eighth notes, wrist, open hand. And the next bar, if you look, you have another left hand. It's not a typo. The idea is that after you're done using your fingers and your wrist, you pull your wrist straight back and immediately go into legato strokes in your left hand. Cool, so it's going to be involving actually most of your arm. Okay, so this is kind of working the idea of any kind of inverted stroke. Cool, so let's try that much. Yeah, let's just go from the top just to get some reps in. Here we go, 1, 2, and here we go. 2, and here we go. Cool. Now let's take that entire next bar of eighth notes. Make sure that immediately, once you get to bar 3, you're going straight into the forte stroke. There's no in between. 1, 2, and here we go. Two, last time, here we go. Cool. So, if you notice, as you're going through this exercise, it just follows the regular 4-2-1 pattern. It's going to keep reducing. So I would be very wary of when you get to the ones, because that's like the quickest time you're gonna have to go on, off, wrist, arm, wrist, arm. So as you're practicing this, just make sure you take it through count by count. I always do that with my students. Just make sure you got it every step of the way, so that way when you're playing it, the whole thing, you don't have to always be in survival mode. Cool? All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.